Morning guys, just going to talk you through this low resistance liquidity run from Monday. I took the trade early. First of all, you can see that we had the SMR at our point of interest, which was pre 9:30, which during their first AM session. Now, technically, if that happens, you can take your entry before the macro window, even in 9:30 if it's a clear SMR, but I actually didn't. As you can see here, I actually entered in the evening at around 10 o'clock. I've marked out my high and low of the first 2:30, the first 90-minute cycle. And I'm just kind of gauging to see where price is going. But I have those backlines because that was one of the things that I've noticed in my back testing, was how price returns to that 2:30 to that first 90-minute cycle. So as I say, I got into the trade in the evening because I saw an SMR around in the Asia session as such, and I had set my TP based upon the SIBI that had already occurred. So really and truly, I was already in the trade at this point as we're approaching 9:30. But as I would have mentioned, you saw the SMR. If you were looking to trade the morning session, then the SMR was in at that point of interest in that blue area, just during that macro of 7:45 to 8:15. And as you can see now at 9:30, price kind of starts to move higher. And as I say, I was looking to take my TP, at the 2300 level. But I was also thinking that, because we've already had that SMR, and this is where I was probably wrong actually. I was waiting for the 9:45 macro to see where price was going to go. Should there be an SMR to reverse during that period? So now 9:30 is taking place. In hindsight, it was probably a continuation model, but what I'm looking at here is the consolidation. I saw from one of the guys I think it was the interview with Box Trades, that if you look at the consolidation that takes place, and you can essentially double that consolidation area, that's where you might get your SMR. But as you'll see, or you'll know from having seen the price action, that didn't quite happen. But that's why I was drawing this box as such. To see, but that I anticipated price to go at least double that consolidation level, and then looking for potentially an SMR afterwards as such. But as you can see, price continues to move up slowly. I say slowly, I mean this was a low resistance liquidity run. We are just looking for those big green candles to come, so to speak. Come 9:45, we've literally just hit the 9:30 open, and this is where you either got to have patience for that SMR or be in it, I guess, for that continuation model. And as I say, I'm still struggling with FOMO, and also being disciplined to only trade in my window, which is why I already had a trade open. I've at least put it at minimum, the least amount of risk at 0.1 of my contract as such. But it was something that I keep testing things, and I could, maybe this is my way of getting me into the right kind of headspace for this, because at least it was low risk, and I had my stop loss on and my TP hit, so if it did go against me, then at least it was a low risk. But on this occasion, it has gone the way that I anticipated. The black line at the top was the high from yesterday that we broke through with a SIBI, or the low that we broke through with a SIBI, and that's why I was looking for price to return there to actually balance out that range. But on the safe, you know, me being Miss Safety, because I'm not that confident with what I'm doing yet, I set my TP at the price level, because I know that is, to me, that is more high probability than the high at this moment. I don't have enough experience to understand that, but as you'll see from here, from 8:30 onwards, 9:30, we see the low resistance. I'm here thinking about putting a trade on, and I don't, because I said no, I already put one trade on, which was outside of my trading time. I'm only supposed to be trade that window, that macro, so I'm waiting for 9:45 to see what is going to happen there. But so far, I don't know if it's going to be a low, if it's going to be reverse or continue, but I'm waiting for that 9:45. And I didn't do anything. I sat on my hands. I already have one trade on, so there wasn't really anything else to do, but just kind of wait at least until 9:45 to see what happens. If I get my take profit, then fantastic. If not, then obviously I'll be looking at the SMR to take the ride down as such. Now this to me is the left side of this curve, the low resistance liquidity run as such. And so as we kind of keep climbing up, it's important to mark out what price is actually doing. And so I mark that gap there. I'm looking at that as a potential gap for price to reverse in. We see the red candle come down. I'm also checking for SMT to see what's happening with ES. I am not seeing SMT at this session, but at that moment in time, not cycle SMT. There was some SMT earlier, but there wasn't cycle SMT at that point. I see another high get taken, and I'm marking that because that high is broken with the SIBI. So to me, again, that's something, an area to note. So that's marking it. And then as we get there straight on the 9:45, my TP is hit. And there you have it, low resistance liquidity run. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks ever so much for watching. Please do drop me a comment, like, subscribe, and yeah, check in with me. Let me know how you're getting on as well. Thanks for watching.